I would also like to note, it just hit me that I'm literally about to blow up my entire world by posting this video. You know, I'm like still like in love with this guy. So
I never get very specific, but not usually to where I get this intuitive feeling that tonight's the night.
It wasn't until I started manifesting my new man that they both came back in my life the same week. Let me catch you up on my life, cause you can't make this up. I've been working on my love life recently and getting back out there and dating. And I was gonna I did actually film a vlog for you guys, and God literally told me not to post it. The blinds were moving, my camera would stop recording, I couldn't work. I couldn't record the video. And then I sat there and I was like, God, I'll record the video and not post it yet until it's time. Then I was able to record it with no issues. I think today is that day. Yeah. After you watch this video, make sure to click the link down below to the vlog channel for the vlog that was filmed a week ago that literally was being blocked. I explained it all in the vlog, but a mini story is I've started manifesting my man. I've realized that a lot of the guys I like are just not people that I see myself in love with, meaning like what I feel I deserve and how I feel I should be treated. I'm not really like materialistic when it comes to a man, but more so just like how I want to feel in a relationship. So I have 3 little books. This is the final place my manifestations have happened, but I ran across manifestations on TikTok and I have been manifesting who I want to be as a girlfriend, as a wife, what I want my man to be like, how I want to be in the relationship. This one I was drunk. Hold on. This one I was definitely drunk. Hold on. Because my writing was crazy. Anywho, this one, you can just tell I was drunk. Look how I was writing. I said, my man, thank you, God. Right, so I've been working on this. I've been seeing a lot of angel numbers. I've had a lot of good energy around me. So I was like, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to start dating again. Maybe it's time for me to like be in love again. And all hell broke loose, to keep it loose. Did not tell a soul. Did not even tell you guys what I was doing. Didn't put it on Instagram. Didn't like say, oh, like I'm going on this manifestation journey. I didn't say any of that. And life was crazy. I was seeing angel numbers. I was just having all these different emotions attacked to me. 2 people that one I may have loved, maybe, and one I definitely loved, kind of like re-entered my life and did some left field, out of pocket shit. There's no other way to explain it. Of course, again, I will go into all details of that in the vlog below, but it's very important you watch this video first because there was all that going on and it was like a lot for me to handle because I wasn't outwardly speaking about this, so it didn't make sense why these 2 people that have been a constant struggle for me have come back into my life. Who else am I gonna call when I have these issues but my mother? If you guys don't know, my mom is an intuitive medium and she does read tarot, and I was like, Mom, I need a love reading. So my mom's in town. I asked her before she came here because I just saw her 2 weeks ago anyway. I was like, hey, I like really need a love reading. Can you do it for my vlog channel? Well, now we're gonna do it on the main channel. So if tarot freaks you out, sorry. If you're interested in my love life, this is a really, really good story. I think you should watch the video here and then go watch the vlog channel because like, you can't make this shit up. Like you literally cannot make this up. It just wasn't time to post it when I filmed it. I think now's the time and I feel confident about that, especially after my reading. I want you guys to watch my reading about my relationship, watch the vlog channel, and then come on this new journey with me because I don't even want to preview what you're about to watch because I didn't even believe it myself when I heard it, but I felt it and that was so scary to have it like confirmed. Enjoy. So my mommy's here.
Hi.
So can I give you background?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I never know if I'm supposed to give you background or not.
Okay, well, let me stop you there. Okay. So I just want to make sure that everyone out there knows and understands that the way that I work is I don't usually ask any questions before I do a reading. I don't necessarily want to know anything that's going on in your life until after the reading. So it's better for me to communicate through the cards, through my gifts, if you will. And then we assess the reading and we compare it to what's going on in your life.
Okay, so we'll do it that way.
Okay. So you can give me some. I mean, it's not like you can't give me anything at all, but just on the very surface, let me know what it is, the type of reading that you're wanting, and what prompted you to get the reading.
Love reading, because I've been thinking about dating again. And so I took it upon myself to start like a manifestation journal and like manifesting my man that like is right for me, who I want, who I can actually see myself with. And I feel I'm getting clogged by people that I feel like I've already moved on from.
Okay.
So this is more of like a clarification for me. I need validation for my intuition, kind of thing, in that kind of situation. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, of course, as always, we have incense burning in the background. This is pagan magic incense, and it's just really to set the tone. And we already cleansed the cards earlier, and we're ready to go.
Yay!
All right, so for those of you that don't know my style of reading, I use my hands. They are my tool. So the energy that I draw from Stella, I mix it up with my energy, with universal energy, and I dump it into my cards. I read the cards basically with the fingertips, and that's how I see them. I work mostly with my eyes closed because I feel the energy that's around her and the energy that I'm depositing into the cards. And these two cards here have special energy. So I set them aside.
When did those come out?
When I was going through the cards earlier.
Oh.
So I read the cards literally with my eyes closed, and I feel the energy that is attached to the cards. And so when I look at them, it is basically looking with my intuition or my third eye. So let's get started. This is the process that takes a little bit longer than most other readers because of me like sweeping each and every card for energy. So when I feel the cards, just so you guys know, they either feel like they're energized or they feel like there's nothing, like they're like a dead battery is the way I like to describe. So let's take a look. If there's some energy to the card, I might set it aside. I generally don't because I like all of my cards to feel super energized or what I call hot. If they're hot cards, definitely that's part of the reading that's meant for you. In this case, we've already set the intention for love, romantic love manifestation. And we'll see where they are leading us. Okay, so if you guys pay attention to what I'm doing with my cards, I wanted to set the cards down, but my intuition, my energy was like, nope, bring them back. There's something in there. And I swept through them again, and sure enough, we pulled the cards out. I typically give a 5-card reading when it comes to love, unless we do an entire session for just love. I don't count the cards. I allow the energy to speak for itself. So once I do a complete sweep of the cards, we'll know what belongs and what doesn't belong. And I never read a card that wasn't meant for the person sitting in front of me. And as with any reading, I'm going to give the disclaimer to you to remind you, but she's my daughter, so I don't really need to give her these reminders, but for the rest of you out there, that this is just a card reading. Use it for its intention and its purpose. And in this case, it is to see what is in store for Stella. Where I, in my mind, am doing a 2 to 3 month type reading, a manifestation reading for the next 2 to 3 months. It is just a card reading. Nothing that comes out through these card readings, you don't have to accept it, right? So you take with you what resonates, and what doesn't resonate or doesn't make sense to you, or you rebuke it, if you will. You just let it go. Just let go of that energy and don't bring it with you. Take only what makes sense, what makes you feel good, because this type of reading is all about feeling good. It's not about feeling, negative energies. It might not be a very positive reading, but the intention is not there to hurt you or to make you feel bad or to, make you change your entire life based on a card reading. Don't ever do that. So, all right, so let's see what we have here. I actually am very interested in that card. I'm called to that card to see what's going on with it. So I'm going to read it first after. Actually, I wanted to set my cards down, but it's telling me no. My intuition is calling me here first. This is a low energy card, but as I tried to put it back into the deck, it was like, bring it out and let's take a look at it.
Can I tell you something about that card? Uh-huh. Before you even picked that card, whatever was in your hand, I started disorienting. Like when I struggle with anxiety, and sometimes when that happens, I disorient and I'm not really in my body yet. And before you picked that card up, I think you were before you even hovered over it, I felt the disorientation. It was
Okay, so it makes sense. She's just said she was avoiding it. It makes sense. It's the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. All right, so anytime we look at certain things as readers, I don't know how much time we have here, but I don't want to give too much information that it takes forever.
Yeah, well, so they've already seen you read, so you don't have to describe everything. This can be just like a reading.
All right, so the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. Every time we have a number 2, we look at couples in a love reading, a pairing. Usually it's going to be either a pairing coming together or a pairing separating and moving apart. So with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position, we are looking at a movement apart, going apart. So I'm going to link this to one of your past lovers, one of your past relationships, and not necessarily to something that is coming into your life right now. It had very low energy, which tells me that you've already moved past this, right? So it's a reminder, if you will, that this existed in your life, not in the like in the past many months ago, but in the recent past. I know that not only because you're my daughter and I know some of what's going on in your life. This is not going to be linked to your latest major breakup. Okay, it's linked to a different breakup, not that one. Yeah. All right, so we're not naming names because we don't want to give credit to the exes, because they're exes for a reason and we don't bring their energy into our lives. So,
well, now I'm excited for the reading because that was like my number 1 question and it just got answered.
Okay, so what was your number 1 question?
You know, I'm like still like in love with this guy, and I know every ounce of my intuition, my being, my better self knows move on. And then he recently came back in my life, and I'm starting that game, a game of what if.
Oh yeah.
And I know that, and but then they just creep back up, and you're just like, it feels like almost like a test. Like, am I being tested to go back? Because I know I'm supposed to move on, and that's a lot of why, I started my manifestation journal, because I know what I want. It's way better than him, and I deserve better than him. So.
All right, well, there you go. So I'm glad they gave you that clarity. So again, we're looking at clarity, guidance, manifestation, and just a general overall reading.
So another thing is, like, that's all I cared about, and that was blocking my energy.
All right.
And it was just that simple of now I'm like, okay, well, all right, so what do we got now? So.
Okay, well, that's actually beautiful. The cards are already chosen based on the energy you sent me, right? Not anything to do really with me.
Right.
I'm like the messenger, if you will, and that card had that special energy and that special attachment. I'm really happy that it answered your question, because it does give me, as your reader, also a lot of like that moment where it's like, okay, we can relax now, and move on to like the fun stuff. All right, so this isn't really bothering me. So we get disclaimer, I burned myself curling my hair.
And I burned myself making tea, so we're burn sisters.
We're burn sisters, it's horrible.
That's not brujeria.
Okay, this just happened, it's not brujeria, it's horrible. I gotta go see Dr. J in Beverly Hills if you're listening.
Oh my. Come to the Addy. Send an Uber.
All right, so, okay. We are not going to do a tarot spread like I did the last time.
Okay.
This is going to be a strictly by intuition only type of reading, only because I feel as if all of these cards are telling us a story that not one is more significant than the other. So I feel like every one of these cards has manifested in its own way to deliver a special message, and they all are given equal weight. Even though in the very beginning I had like 2 of the cards kind of just, I can't say they popped out, but they were like, they called my attention, so it made me put them out. But as I read the rest of the cards with my fingertips, it's like, okay, they're all equal weight. It all paints a story for you. Let's take a look. And now I will use my intuition to see which part of the story wants to emerge first.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, I feel it down here on this side, so that's where I'm going to concentrate my energy. And sometimes it's a little hard to tell exactly what wants to come first, but I do believe it's this one. And we are going to pair it. We're going to pair it with this one. And we're going to take a look at these 2 first and then come back to this. They feel like 1, 2, like they go together, okay? But remember, everything has an equal weight. All right, so we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse position. When we're looking at this card in a love reading, we look at lots of different imageries, numerology, symbolism when we read the tarot, and every reader is different, and depending on the style of reading that they do, we have what is known as a textbook value, and we combine it with either our intuition, our psychic abilities, or whatever other type of reader you go to. So the Seven of Swords in the reverse position, looking at the swords is all about your intellect, your thoughts, about when it's in the reverse position, it's the negative aspect of that card. When you have the Seven of Swords, it's like, okay, now it's time to rethink and reassess and reevaluate, in this case, your love life. In the reverse position, it is like those thoughts that you're having in your head are not new thoughts, they're old thoughts keeping your thought process back in the day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like instead of releasing that and moving forward, it's like hindering you. So when we have the negative aspect of the card, we want to see what isn't aligning right in our lives, and your romantic life in this case, so that you can switch it around and turn that card around into a positive aspect of that card, so you are able to move forward and bring a new thought process into your life when it comes to your love and romance. I think based on what you said here with the other card, when we left that, we're going to call him an ex, but he's not the ex that was the major breakup, for those of you who follow Stella, which I think all of you do. It's not that one. And so there is someone else. I know who he is. And what I'm saying that this here, I am going to say to you that you already answered that. It's not something that I answered so much, and the card just validated that you need to change your perspective, your thought process, in order to let go of that past and move forward in attracting your new love. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one goes together with this one, and we have the Six of Cups. And now this, I'm going to explain to you what the beauty of this card is. We just talked about letting go of the past, letting go of those old thoughts that hold you back. Once we let go of those, because these cards went together, the very next card is all about starting family, all about getting married, finding that love, maybe not in that order, but of welcoming those things. I know for a fact that at some point you would like to have at least a child. I don't know how many, but this card symbolizes that that will manifest for you. I'm not saying in the next 2 or 3 months you're going to end up pregnant or having a child, but it does set the tone once you let go of this to manifest this. So that's an affirmation and confirmation that that will be coming into your life.
And I feel that. Like, I want to be very clear. I feel that, and that's why I was on my own before this. And that's why I like the guidance that we get here. Because it's just like, okay, like, I'm strong in my intuition. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's nice to, like, affirm that.
Yes.
With
Perfect.
tarot.
I live my life also using the guidance of the tarot. The cups, for those of you who are not very familiar with it, cups represent all about your heartfelt emotions, definitely linked to love, emotions. So anyhow, when we have the Six of Cups, it's definitely about moving forward and manifesting that love, that family, that emotional bond with someone special to create that family that you're hoping for.
I would also like to note that last time you read for me, all of my cups were reversed, and now we have one that's not. So
yes. Oh, okay.
I'm
great.
working on it.
All right, so let's see where else we're going with this reading. And this one wants to be read next. Okay, so we're going to take an overall picture. I will keep reminding you. All right, the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. When you have the Ten of Swords, it is in a love reading in particular, it is all about feeling that you were stabbed in the back or deception of some sort, right? So again, I'm linking this not to something that's coming into your life, but I'm also linking it to something that you need to let go of, right? This is like a very big one. When you have, it's not only the Ten of Swords, which already symbolizes that, but we're also having it in the reverse position, that negative aspect of it, of needing to let that go, which I already know that you know that this has happened to you in your life, and most of your readers know that as well, or listeners, followers. But it's manifesting in your cards, which is then affirming that yes, it's happened, acknowledging that yes, it's happened, but it's also a reminder for you to let it go. Okay, period.
Period.
All right. So we're going to leave that here. So there's a lot of energy centered right here. So I'm going to pull this card here, and I'm going to pull this card here, and we're going to read these 4 cards together, one at a time. It feels like this lesson is already learned. and we're moving on to this lesson here, and then we'll see what we have over here. So do you see how you're like, it's painting a picture, right? So here we have these 4 cards, not in any particular order, but I'm going to feel them just to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything that's more significant. All right, so we have these 4 cards that manifested. It feels like this is like a mini reading within your reading, if that makes sense.
How?
So the way that it's happening, all of this is one big picture that we're painting. But as I'm reading for you, it's painting like little snippets of your love life for me.
Got
so
it.
right here, we're like past.
Like a 1 card.
Like the one card that's like, okay, like you said, it answered and affirmed where you need to be in your life.
Right.
Romantically speaking. Over here, we have the manifestation of what you're wanting to call into your life, but we have these 2 issues here that need to be resolved for this to manifest, and that paints its own little picture. At the end, and this here is going to paint another picture, and then I don't know what's going on here until I feel, but at the end of your reading, all the cards are going to paint a big picture.
Okay.
All right, so we're not going to get too like tied into what each individual card is at this moment, because they all have the same weight. So I'm going to go here first, and it is the Wheel of Fortune, but it's in the reverse position. So this is the trickery here. Excuse me, with this card, as I choke to death. Okay, the Wheel of... Need some water. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. Actually, I want everyone to see this card. Zoom in on it, right? Because there's a couple of very significant aspects of this card. We are looking at your love reading. When we are wanting to manifest something into our lives, we put our heart and our soul into it when we're actively working on manifesting, right? You've already set your intention. The universe has answered, not only here, but here. Now, the issue that we have is that this card is in the reverse position.
And that's a major arcana card, right?
Yes. So we have major arcana cards and we have minor ones. So far, all of these are minor. And then the major, so these are like the ebbs and flows of everyday life. A major card takes a pause, like it makes you stop and pay attention, because we think of these cards as universal lessons or spiritual lessons that we're here on earth to learn. So when it's in the reverse position, again, we look at the negative aspect of the card. What is getting in your way? What is impeding you from attaining everything that you want to manifest in your romantic love life? I can't answer that question for you, right? That's something that you need to do some internal work to figure out what it is, and maybe through therapy if needed. Not that you need to go find a therapist, out there. If you guys are not in therapy, this is not telling you go find a therapist. I'm saying that it takes a lot of soul searching, and sometimes it helps to talk to people outside of yourself or your inner circle to get a different perspective on what's going on in your life that is impeding you from manifesting exactly what you want. Because the universe is telling me you are going to attain it, you're going to get it. But at what cost?
Or blockages.
Or blockages that need to get released.
Yeah.
Right? So the beauty of it is that it's there for the taking. Now you need to do the legwork to take this card and turn it in the upright position.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to leave that there, and we're going to go here to this card. Remember, they all feel the same energetically. So now we have, again, another beautiful card, but in the reverse position, the Two of Cups. So when you have the Two of Cups in a love and romance reading, again, it's all about that pairing, right? In this situation, in this case, we do have it in the negative position, and it's nothing, I'm going to say this to you, it is nothing for you to be wary of or to feel that, oh my God, it's not going to happen for me. It's not like that. What this card feels like to me is that it's not going to be right now. But when I'm saying those words to you and I'm thinking ahead 2-3 months later, it's like, no, bitch, get yourself out there now, because the person that you might end up meeting and falling in love with might be tonight. And so that's what this card feels like. It feels like it might be tonight type of card. So I'm going to, I never get very specific, that specific. Sometimes yes. but not usually, to where I get this intuitive feeling that tonight's the night, right? And this is the vibration I'm getting from this card. So I would say to you, embrace tonight and make some moves there when it comes to your love life. But I'm also going to say to you, it's not an online type situation, and it's not a neighbor type situation. We all know you have a hot neighbor, and if you don't know, now you know. Stella has a hot neighbor. It's not like that. Okay.
I've been trying to hook my mom up.
He's like a baby. All right.
Go.
I
just want to note that he did leave his door when y'all heard that in the middle of that. So.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me go here. And we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. So the Knight of Wands, again, we look at symbolism as we're reading the card for Stella. I'm getting this energy. It is in the reverse position. What this card means in a love reading, we look at this symbolism again. We look at the Knight, the typical traditional knight in shining armor. It doesn't have to be a man. It's a male energy, but it's not necessarily associated with a man. It could be a woman. So if you, in your personal readings, have a knight, and it's not a male that you normally date, don't worry. This doesn't mean that, the card is trying to change your sexual orientation or anything. It just means that the person has a strong male energy. And it is a very acquainted with coming in, sweeping you off your feet, rescuing you, if you will. It's a very arcane, archaic way of looking at things. But the tarot is not based on modern times. Not this one in particular. There are other decks that are modern type decks. This one is not. It's traditional. So when we look at that symbolism, then we pair it with the wands. The wands means movement forward. So here comes this gorgeous knight, in shining armor to whisk you away and take you forward, that movement forward, but it's in the reverse position. Okay, so that means not yet.
I don't want to be whisked anywhere.
Okay, but it doesn't mean that you have to give in. You work it out. You guys work it out, right? So remember that the tarot is based on an archaic way of thinking. This particular deck is the traditional deck.
Okay.
Right? So we have modern decks for those of you that don't subscribe to this type of thinking. Take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Right? The symbolism, you could just, revamp it to today's modern times and make it weave into your story, how you see it fitting into your life. Right? So it might be the knight in shining armor. So if you have that...
Bad bitches assemble.
Yep. Okay. So if you have that strong energy that might overpower the typical traditional male energy, that's okay too. It's okay for you to be a female, to be feminine, and have a strong male energy attached to your personality. Completely okay. That could symbolize you. In this case, it doesn't.
Okay.
I'm telling you that right now. It is not linked to you. I would tell you if it were.
Wait, so if it's not linked to me, then what did it mean?
The male energy is not linked to you. The male energy is actually linked to a man.
Okay, but because it's reversed, it means not yet?
Not yet. There are things that need to be worked out, need to be accomplished, need to be discovered.
Got it.
Okay? Self-discovery is what we talked about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then we have the Fool card. This is another major arcana card. It's not bad. This card is actually very positive. It tells you to take a risk. Make that move. Take a risk. Like I said to you, tonight is the night for you where it could be very possible for you to meet that next major milestone, the next major love in your life. Mm-hmm. This card reminds you to go ahead and act the fool, take the risk.
Got it.
Okay? As opposed to holding back and not making a move.
Yeah.
Okay? So positive, I think these are very positive cards for you. I really like this card popping up. Again, the Fool is major arcana. Pay close attention to it. The rest of the cards ebb and flow. We have the Wheel of Fortune and we have the Fool.
Okay.
On this end, the one that wants to be read first is this one. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so now this card, I'm going to tell you in a love reading. Again, it's all about the Knight. It's in the upright position, about the Knight coming in to rescue you. But I'm going to say this. This is not that strong of a card. My interpretation of this card for you is that the man that comes into your life might not be financially as advanced as you are in your career. And I also feel as if you are going to surpass him at any level. So it's not as if he has to work his way up to meet you. I feel that he will never meet you. And so that's okay too. But it either symbolizes that you will have extreme financial blessings and success, and he will be just average, normal. But he has other qualities that attract you to him, and it's not based on financial. And I know that we talk all the time about needing somebody who is your equal or better. In this case, I'm saying to you that the person that you meet might not ever be able to live up to be your equal or better, but it's still okay.
I would like to say that I always tell my mom, and then I just would like to say that I always talk about dating, and then like the guys I date are average because I like value a man for who he is opposed to like what he has. And then we always joke about, oh, you need a rich dude, la la la, but I don't really feel that way. So it's just funny that that card came through.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I'm just the opposite. I do need a rich guy.
Otherwise,
I just stay single until I'm just waiting for the right one, because I don't want nobody average and mediocre keeping me from getting the man I really want.
And I just want to also say that I thought I wanted a rich guy just because like that's how my mom and my sister are. And then so my last boyfriend was like that, and he was such a dick, and like the one you guys know. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with what comes with a guy has a lot of money. Like I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather have honest love. If that's like, someone asked if I was a hopeless romantic, I'm like, yes. Like I'd rather have like an honest love, a true love, whatever. So.
Oh, okay. Well, don't get me wrong. I would like to have honest and true love.
With the bag.
With the bag. Yes.
I love it.
So, because you're absolutely right. If, from my experience, I've never dated a man just because he has money.
Yeah.
Never. I've never done that. And so, it just so happened that the man I dated had money and there was real love and real attachment. So, I actually walked away from a very rich one not that long ago.
I need teeth. Tell her to get it together.
He was not the one for me.
Okay.
All right. So here we have the Three of Wands. This is a card that represents movement away. Okay. So in your love and relationship reading, this card is all about separation, movement away. So over here we have this Knight of Pentacles, and then we have you moving away from it, but you just affirmed that you wouldn't move away from it, right? So it's kind of like a contradiction. So I'm curious to see how you'll react when this person does come into your life. Are you going to say, put the brakes on that? Or are you going to allow that to manifest for you and to take course to see what happens and how it develops?
Okay.
The cards tell me that you're not going to accept, right? But what you're telling me, if it's the right person, that's all what you're all about. Okay, so let's see what manifests for you. Keep that in mind, that this for me feels like a little bit of a conflict, internal conflict, where you're like pushing away that potential interest, love interest for you.
And it's not someone I know, right?
No.
Okay, good, because
it's not someone you know.
Gotta go back to them what if questions.
Yes, okay, and look what we have here. We have the Devil reversed. Another card, nothing to be afraid of. I actually just posted something on my social media about it was about the Death card. So the Death card, the Devil card, the Tower card, all of these major arcana cards that feel and seem so negative have a lot of positive aspects that are attached to them. So when you have the Devil reversed, it's all about being tied or chained or connected to something that you can't let go of. And actually your entire reading, this is the last card in the reading, when we look at the entire picture, that's been like a theme that has woven through your story. And the final card, being a major arcana card, is telling you that you are tied to something in your past that you're not letting go, and you must let it go in order for you to attract and manifest that what is meant for you that's coming into your life.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense
so
to
if
you?
those three are a little story, then how would those three?
Okay, so that's actually a great question. So the way the three major arcana cards would read, you can set those aside. We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. The universe is telling you, girl, you have everything in you to get what you want, to manifest that love that you want. Look at to see what is that hiccup, that bump in the road, what is holding you back from attaining it, to turn this into this type of card.
Mm-hmm.
So reminder, it is in the reverse position. The Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse position. There's something there that's keeping you from going full circle and manifesting exactly what you want. Then we have the Fool. The Fool came at a time where I said to you, someone new is coming into your life, possibly tonight. It feels very strong for tonight. Take that risk. Go ahead and move forward in taking that risk to see where things go, where they develop. Not saying that this is going to be the person that you're going to end up with, but it has potential.
Okay.
Right? So, and then we have the next card that says, okay, well, hold up. I can't take that risk because I have this other love interest back here that still got me tied to him. Right? It's in the reverse position that tells you you must sever that tie so you can be released, set free to move forward from that.
Okay.
So overall, I think that for you, I would definitely go do your thing tonight. And I would see what pops
I'm
up.
like, where am I going? Mom did say she wanted to go get a drink.
We'll go get a drink.
Okay.
And so...
It's so funny because it's gotten to a point where I'm annoyed. Like, you know something intuitively, but the more you, like, get tested on it or it comes back because it keeps coming back and you're not letting it go, you get to a point of annoyance of, like, okay, this is dumb. Like, I get it now. Like, I see you. It's like, haha, like, you can't play me kind of thing. But it's still there. And it's, like, the two guys, one over the other. And it's always just that what if in your head that literally will drive you insane. It's like, you can't live in a what if.
I'm going to say to you, you got to let both of that go.
I have, and I think it wasn't until I started manifesting my new man that they both came back in my life the same week. Last week. Not even kidding.
Okay, so that's the devil. I don't really believe in the devil, but I mean, that's not aligned. It doesn't align with my spiritual values and principles. However, it's just a way of saying that it's just playing, that the universe is just messing with you and, giving you those little obstacles that keep you from getting what you want.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you, Mother.
You're very welcome.
Actually, so you know how we were like, oh, maybe people weren't with it based on the comments of the last video?
Yeah.
People loved it.
Oh, thank you. Actually, thank you very much for inviting me to come on to your platform because as a result, I've been so busy giving readings to your followers.
Yeah.
I've loved every bit of it, and thank you so much. It's been amazing. My life is actually taking a whole new direction that I never imagined pre-COVID. And I know that you know that I did my very first grief retreat, and I have another one coming up in May. And it puts together all of these principles of tarot, spirituality, healing from grief, from pain, from whatever you have going on in your life. And it's just actually a very fun, holistic experience. And I'm looking forward to that. And thank you again for you guys, because a lot of you asked for that. And it just so happened that my sponsor, is that a way you say it? Yeah. My retreat sponsor reached out to me. They weren't my retreat sponsor before reaching out to me, but when they reached out to me, it turned out that everything that we do here naturally is what they were looking for.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you can find my mom at Psychic Therapy Online. Can I get another discount code? Because I know my girls used it.
All right. So because of the overwhelming response I had with the last promo code, I tell you guys, I was so exhausted by the end of it. So for Stella's followers, Stella75 will get you a 45-minute session at $75. And I'll still give that 15-minute, as always, like a follow-up to your reading so we could talk and discuss.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I love it. All right, guys. This video has been so much fun. I love when my mom does readings for me. I'll probably have her read for something else soon. I got a lot of life changes happening so quickly, and you're watching them all too, Mom, so it's like weird. They don't know anything, like any of the...
Oh, okay.
They don't know any of it, so I'm very excited to reveal that to you guys soon. With health, with business, just everything's good. So we've turned a tide, and now I felt like love was the one thing that was kind of like weighing me down, but it wasn't love, it was this guy, and we're just gonna let it go and move on, because I already knew to do that. So no one can sweet talk me no more. And I'm honestly like tired of hoe face too. We talked about this too, but I'm over it, so I'm ready. Yay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. You can follow my mom at Psychic Therapy Online. Love and light, Stella. Bye.
Bye.